Hey, what's up? All right, so I put the truck back together, and I'm running it on 8S. So I got two 4S Onyx batteries in there, and I'm running a brand new ESC. Well, it's not brand new, but it's a new undamaged ESC, I should say. I just pulled it out of my drag car because I'm not really running this right now, so that's how this one is set up. So I pulled it out, and I did some testing last night on 8S, and I got some logs here, and let's see if I can find, this is it, right? Yeah, let's see what it's gonna open up. Open it up with Castle Viewer. So we'll open up the Castle link, and we go down and get this file open. So I just wanted to show you what it's doing on 8S. It has a 22 pinion on it, nothing crazy. But just so you could see, temperature 146, no fan on the motor. ESC temperature is 135 seconds, as you can see. That's the time, I don't know, 600 seconds. Get the fuck out of here with that. 6 minutes, right? I guess so. 6 minutes or what? 10 minutes, give or take, depending on what the fuck you're looking at. I'm not doing math in my head, but here's a zoom up of something. I know it's not going to be easy to decipher through all this jumble, but the ripple 1.43, so that's pretty high. And I do have a cap pack, but it just won't fit in this car. And the way I'm driving it, obviously, it's gonna have ripple with these batteries. It's kind of crazy. Got up to 27,000 RPMs, and I only got up to what, 91% throttle, 91%, and it's just wheeling until the end of the. I can't even really. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna work on the suspension. I haven't stripped any new gears or anything, but you can see I'm driving the truck like you drive a truck. It's not just a speed run and done. And so far, you know, the most the motor climbed, I'm gonna tell you the truth, is at the end of the run when I stopped driving it. As you can see, the motor just kept climbing. So I stopped running the truck, no action. The motor went from 132 to 146. That's the highest it saw the whole time, and that was at the end when I stopped driving it. So you need to move this truck around. There's a lot of vent holes in it, so the motor does get enough air when you're driving it. But outside of that, I'm gonna throw fans on it for the summer, and I'm gonna leave it like that. I'll put another ESC into this car. Or maybe put that ESC back into this car and put another one in that one. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share the logs, what it was doing so far. So you know, this motor is capable of a lot more power. Matter of fact, just for people who don't want to do the conversion, let me just change the power setup. So right now the motor was at 14 horsepower, 15 horsepower. At 421 amps, and like I said, it didn't get to full power, so I could gear it down. I got a 19 tooth pinion I could throw on it, and I know it'll spin the RPMs because it's not dropping. Let's see where the lowest I got for this run here for voltage. So it went down to 26.3 on the volts, so that's still better than 3, so that's not too bad. So like I said, I can gear it up, throw a 19 on it, and it'll still spin the same it'll spin more RPMs. I'll get the same speed, it'll just be less load on the system. It's something I might do, but since I put the 2028, I know it can carry the load. Like I had the 1100 kV Hobby Wing. Let me go actually pull that motor out of the back here. I had this Hobby Wing in that truck. This is, yeah, there we go. Good old faithful, as you can see. Good old faithful, reliable. And it was pulling 400 amps. And that's on the 8S with the same gearing. It was pulling 400 amps, wheeling down the block, a lot of fun. No heat. Well, I had a big fan. I had a Power Hobby fan on it, but I didn't end up ever burning up the motor. So I actually like the fact that this is censored. I can actually see what my motor temps are without pulling out a gun. And I can see the motor temps are very acceptable. And just so you can see how I have it set up, just, you know, in case anybody wants to know how not to destroy their ESC with this motor, well, you can't because it's not plugged in. So anyway, but the thing about it, the way you can unlock these ESCs is by running 0 punch. The ESC is totally unlocked. And then you take the low voltage cutoff off, then both safeties that ESC has are disabled. So it will burn. So if you put the low voltage cutoff to 3.3, 3.4, your batteries will be safe. Your ESC will not burn with the low voltage cutoff based off battery draw and battery heat. Now with the punch, that's the other side. So the battery, low voltage cutoff for your battery terminals, battery connectors on the ESC. Punch is basically on the output side of the ESC. So 0 punch means it will burn the ESC. The ESC will flame. It will flame if you're running a crazy powerful setup. It will not limit the amount of power coming out. It will just kill itself. And they send it to you with the punch on 0. So they kind of want you to kill it. So I always put the punch at least on this truck. I'm running here. I have the punch up. I ran it last night with those logs. You saw the punch was on 25. So since I came home, charged the batteries, reset it up, put the punch up to 60%. And I raised the low voltage cut up to 3.5. So I want to see how it performs. It should be a lot easier on the drivetrain. I shouldn't strip any parts and I should get speed. So I just need more space. So we'll see how that works out today. I'm gonna take it out and take it for a run. But it's all together properly. It's the ESC is right on the top there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it towards some light. Let me put a flashlight in it for you guys. Just go through it real quick. All right, so XLX2 mounted on the original mount, original receiver on it. I have other receivers, I'm not stripping it. You see down there 1700 kV stuff down there. It's a big can, goes all the way down. Then I got 2 4S Onyx LiPos horizontally stacked, and I have it velcroed and zip tied to the battery tray. And in front of those 2 batteries is a servo. And yeah, I can open the bottom. I have a carbon fiber plate on the top of this, so it bolts in both ways. So that's securing the motor. And then, as you can see, the receiver, the servo, I should say, not the receiver, but the servo, you can see the 2 batteries stacked that way. But you can see the servo, how that is, how that's bolted to the stock servo arms. A lot of cushion and a pushing for this. And I have a carbon fiber plate on the side of those batteries so it doesn't bash up against the ESC mount. And it protects it, at least along the drivetrain side, and everything else is foam on it. So far that's the setup. And with this setup, there's a lot of speed, a lot of power. I don't know if you guys know about these trucks, but when they get on the power, you have to offset the suspension. So as you can see, this shock tower is all the way up. but I have GMP springs in there, so I'm trying to get it from wheeling as much. And I noticed this it just wheelies a lot. And I have this offset with some preload because the truck always tilts because it's the way the suspension is. It always kind of tilts when it's boogieing, and that helps when you're on throttle and you're trying to turn the truck as well. It'll spin it out properly. It won't just hook and all the time. But it's the truck, the way it's designed, it does flip. You can't really help it. Just the way it is. You just got to slow down when you turn and turn the AVC on, and it'll slow the truck down for you. But yeah, it's beautiful. I'm ready to get a full rip out of it, stock tires, just so you can understand what the capability is of it. And yeah, no more landmines. Everything is just beautiful and nice. No worries. So put this drag car away, the Hobeo. This thing is a monster. Shout out to Saga, man. Those motors are beasts, man. This is a 6S setup running under 2. So, running under 2, no prep. And I do got prep sauce. I just never ran it because I just stopped running the car. So this car is for sale if anybody wants it. I also got a carbon chassis as well. I'm selling everything. Also got this custom GT3 that I built. It's just sitting here for a while. I just do this little cheap setup in it, but that's for sale as well. So anyway, just hope to show and help if anybody had questions about this truck and how to do it. Shout out to whoever the hell it was on Facebook who posted that what is it, 5870 in it. You know, I really wanted to do it. I just didn't feel like tearing the shit apart to figure it out. But yeah, it just gave me the confidence to do it, and it worked out pretty well. So you guys take care.